Hey guys, I wanted to make a part 2.5 because as I thought about it, I realized I had a lot of duplication here because I was doing an if the counter is 0, then is 1, then I was doing the loops for the rows and columns. So it was, and then it required me to repeat that code here. So wasn't very efficient, and I figured I would show everyone a better way to do it. So I wrote, so let me get rid of this one. Now on this one I have, we have the same code. So let me walk you through it just in case you hadn't seen it yet. But first here, and I'm going to comment this so it'll be more clear as well. But first, on the data sheet, I'm clearing everything on the entire sheet. So all the cells, I'm clearing the contents. So clear contents on the data sheet to create blank data tab. Next, I am declaring the variables for the folders and the file name. So declare folder and file path. Well, that's not needed. Here, this is where I've chosen to do the application.file dialog MSO file folder picker, dialog folder picker. You can do folder or file. I've chosen to do folder so that we can loop through all the workbooks inside of the folder. So this will be select the folder that contains the workbooks to run through. And then here's where we declare what the file name is using this dir function. And because we've given it the path to the folder and we put a slash, it will return the first match and then cycle through everything that matches. So everything in the folder is going to match this address because basically there's nothing there, and so anything in the folder would match this. And then so this gives us the file name for the current workbook, and then we set that let's see here. Then we go into our loop. So then we're going to say do while file name is not equal to blank, because when we've gotten to blank, we've gotten to the end of all of our workbooks. And then we've initialized the loop counter to 0. So yes, here we initialize the loop counter just so we can know. I'm using that to determine whether we need to grab the headers or not. The first time through, I'm going to grab the headers. This is the row on our data sheet, the destination basically. And here we're saying loop through until the file name is blank. And then this is keeping track of how many loops that we actually complete. So if then we assign the workbook to whatever path whatever the current file that we're on is. And then next we just assign the worksheet to the worksheet 1. And then here we're clearing column A and clearing row 3 so that we can use this current region. Just a little safety check there to make sure that the current region works properly. And then here we're initializing the row and column variables. So this is my row, this is my column on the I guess the current workbook. And then if it is the first time through, if loop counter is 1, we want to set I equals to 1. This is what I've changed compared to the old workbook. So by saying this, and we're setting I equals to 1 only if it's the first time through. Then on that first time through, we're going to grab the header row, but every other time we're going to grab just the data. So starting on row 2 to grab the data, not headers. And then we've changed from an if this, before we said if this loop counter is 1, then do this, and we had an else that we did the exact same code. So we're being a little repetitive. Now we just say do while I, which is our row, is less than the total number of rows, less than or equal to the total number of rows in the range that we've set in the current workbook that we're pulling the data from. And then we just have to initialize our column. This J column is my column number on the final workbook. The workbook pulling the data into. And then here we just say for every, so J is column on the current workbook, and so we say for J equals 1 to the number of columns in that range, and then here's where we're transferring the data. And then we close the workbook, and file name becomes dir, which will return the next matching file. And so this will give us the next workbook and the next path, and then we loop and we do it all over again. So if we run this code, delete all of this and run it, click on the folder, there we go. We have run the code, pulled all the data in, and it's a lot cleaner than it used to be, a lot more simple. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please comment or send me a message if you want to go into something in more detail. Thanks.